Fans of Sister Wives think Robyn Brown sees things differently than most people because she praises Kody Brown for being so accepting of his ex-wife's flaws. Robyn shocked everyone when she said all the things Kody was willing to put up with in the women he married. If any fan didn't get why the ex-wife didn't want to be friends with Robyn, they might find a clue in her ideas on what was wrong with her sister wives. Sister Wives. Robyn Brown, not on the list of flaws. Robyn Brown, a star of Sister Wives, always stated that her ties with her sister wives were just as important to her, if not more so, than her relationship with Kody Brown. Robyn is now Kody's last wife, and fans of the show are sharing a video of the fourth wife shouting Kody's praises for how patient he is. But Kody Brown, who stars in Sister Wives, recently said that his mother is worried about him. In a real-time post, he says he knows why. Kody seems to have found another method to justify why he isn't close to some of his kids while the TLC program is on break between seasons. Or better then, why does he have this problem and not the moms of his kids? Fans are often amazed by Kody Brown's style of thinking, the head of the Sister Wives family. He has been talking a lot about family lately, especially parenting. He enjoys giving advice to his supporters. But what appears even more ridiculous is that admirers seek him for this guidance. So, some admirers think his new perspective about moms and dads is an interesting issue. Kody might even use this idea to feel better about the fact that some of his kids don't talk to their father, the Sister Wives' father of 18. In the past, when Sister Wives fans contacted Kody Brown for parenting advice, he gave them very different answers from what he is saying now. He used to tell new parents to make sure their kids respect them. He also recommended to love your kids, but they also need to be disciplined. His most recent parenting article focuses about how mothers and fathers treat their kids differently. Kody tells the Sister Wives audience that there is a chemical reaction in the mother from the time the baby is born. This makes moms adore their kids no matter what. But it's not the same for fathers. Kody Brown cited his mother as an example. Fans of Sister Wives' dad were reminded that his mom is much older now. But she still calls him when she's worried about him. Kody views this as proof that chemistry never fades. When his mom thinks she should worry about him for any reason, she still gets in touch with him. Kody never revealed what made his mom worried, but Sister Wives fans can think of a few situations from the program that might have had Kody Brown's mom worried. People think that his famous moment where he stabbed Christine Brown in the kidney while ranting at her would do it. If a mother saw her son act that way, she would probably be worried. Kody Brown was angry a lot on the show, so you can see why she might be worried. But for now, Sister Wives supporters think that Kody is trying to explain why Christine Brown and Janelle Brown are so close to their kids and why they love them unconditionally. He never said the name of any family member, but the fans saw through this. Kody seems to think that this idea could suggest that Mary, Janelle, and Christine have an advantage in their chemical link since they are so close to their kids. This could be how Kody explains his broken relationships because his hypothesis doesn't involve that chemistry for fathers. This means that fathers need to put in some effort because it doesn't come naturally. Moms have that chemical get-out-of-jail-free card, but they don't. There you have it. One of TLC's most contentious dads seems to be utilizing the chemistry we are born with to explain away his problems. But Christine Brown has learned a few things about love since she and Kody Brown broke up. The 35-year-old Sister Wives star, who married David Woolley in October 2023, 2 years after her divorce from Brown, wrote about her experience of discovering her true love later in life on Instagram on July 18th. I didn't get to post all the pictures from our last trip, but it reminded me that even though the views were stunning, the best part was how calm it felt, she said next to a slideshow of her and Woolley's trips in Germany. How light it was. How easy it was to be myself. Love shouldn't be hard to understand. It shouldn't feel weighty or make you wonder what it is. It's not supposed to hurt, she said. She told her followers, "You deserve love that feels kind, safe, and steady. And it's never too late to believe that kind of love is possible." The TLC star and Woolley went public with their romance in February 2023 and got engaged 2 months later before tying the knot that October. Her relationship with Woolley started after she became the first of Kody's 4 wives to leave him in November 2021, which set off a chain reaction that ended his relationships with Janelle and Mary within 14 months. In December 2023, she and her now-husband Wooly were on Sister Wives, one-on-one, and she said she couldn't be herself with Kody because he only wanted me to be positive and only wanted me to be fun. She further said that Kody just enjoyed the cute little bubbly aspect of me and she won't stuff it anymore, especially now that she is happy with David. But Christine got a message from Janelle on a cold fall afternoon. I'm thinking about going to the old house this weekend. Wanna go? Christine stared at the message for a few minutes. It had been over 2 years since she had been in that house, the place where all 4 sister wives once tried to build a shared dream. The house held memories, laughter, pain, and 1,000 unsaid words. After her separation from Kody, she had avoided everything connected to that chapter of her life. But something about Janelle's message stirred a quiet curiosity in her here on that Saturday. Janelle, Christine, and Mary all came over one at a time. Robyn had been invited too, but she said she wasn't ready. None of them pushed her. The driveway looked the same, cracked, sun-kissed, and familiar. The air around the house was still, almost sacred, as if the building itself remembered them. The front door creaked open, and the key still worked. The air inside was thick with dust and time. The furniture was still there, but it was covered in white sheets. On the mantel was an old family photo of Kody with all 4 of his wives and many of their kids. Christine glanced at it without saying anything, her face unreadable. I forgot this was even here, Mary murmured, running her fingertips over the dusty frame. They moved carefully into the house. The kitchen still smelled a little like coffee and cinnamon. The enormous dining table, which used to be the focus of boisterous family meals, now looked like a monument to their past. Janelle remarked with a half-smile, "Do you remember Thanksgiving here? That year we couldn't agree on a recipe and ended up making 4 different turkeys." Everyone laughed, even Mary. They went upstairs to see their previous rooms. Christine opened the door to her old bedroom and stopped. The room was empty, but in her mind, it was full of memories, her kids rushing in, Kody coming and leaving, and late-night discussions with the other spouses in the hallway. She looked at Janelle and said, "I thought this house would keep us together." Janelle nodded. We all did. Later, the women sat in the garden and drank tea from thermoses they had brought. The trees above them rustled gently. The air between them was calm, but not tight. For the first time in a long time, they felt like women who had been through something deep and difficult, but also powerful. Mary spoke up. I was so mad when things started to go wrong. At Kody. At all of you. But now that I'm sitting here, I just feel tired. And maybe ready to forgive. Christine looked at her and said softly, "Maybe we needed to break up to find our own voices." Janelle lifted her cup and said, "To healing, no matter how messy it looks." They tapped their cups together. The 3 women stood up as the sun began to set and formed long shadows across the yard. They secured the house behind them. No one grieved, but each of them took a small bit of serenity with them that they didn't know they were missing. And as they drove away in different cars, they didn't say goodbye. Something told them they still had more to write about this subject. But Mary Brown stood on her porch with her arms crossed, feeling the cold evening air wrap around her. The sky over Flagstaff was getting darker as twilight set in, and the shadows of the mountains stretched long across the land. Her mind was heavy, and her heart was even heavier. No one had asked her how she was really doing in months. But tonight, for the first time in a long time, she was ready to tell the truth. The production crew had set up their regular cameras, but Mary had asked for no interview chair and no casual shots of the garden. She wanted to stand and face the camera head-on. She gently let out a breath and remarked, "I never thought I'd say this, but after all these years, I feel like the other woman." There was stillness. The camera team didn't know if she would keep going, but she did. Mary and Kody were the first couple and the foundation of the family. But in recent years, especially since Robyn joined the family, Mary had watched her place slowly dissolve. Her legal marriage to Kody had already been annulled to make way for Robyn's, but what hurt more was the emotional distance. The way Kody laughed more easily around Robyn. The way he always sat next to her. The way he defended her even when she was wrong. "I used to be the wife who knew him best," Mary remarked, her voice shaking but steady. "Now I'm just tolerated." She went on to say that at family gatherings, Robyn and Kody would sit so close together that they looked like newlyweds, whispering and laughing while the other wives looked at them with stiff expressions. "Sometimes I wonder if we're still a plural family, or if we've become Robyn's family with a few guest stars." Mary remembered times when she waited for Kody to invite her to spend time with him, only to find out later that he had taken Robyn and their kids on a trip without telling anyone else. He forgot her birthdays and anniversaries. He stopped seeing me, stopped hearing me. I started to wonder, am I even still a wife? She said that Robyn often played the part of peacekeeper, but it never worked. She'd say things like, "Kody loves all of you," or "he's just stressed." But love doesn't look like being quiet or not being there. It wasn't just about feelings. Mary said that there were months, whole seasons, when she and Kody didn't have any sexual or romantic contact at all. Mary said, "I confronted him, and he told me he didn't feel safe with me anymore. He said our relationship didn't serve him emotionally. But he never said that about Robyn. No, with her, he always found excuses to be there. He put her first. It was like watching your marriage die while someone else's bloomed right in front of you." And that's when she said the words that made viewers of the show gasp. "I feel like the other woman in my own marriage. I'm the one who waits for texts that don't come. I'm the one who makes plans that get canceled at the last minute. And Robyn, she's the wife. She's the one who gets his love, energy, and presence. I've become the outsider, the backup plan." Mary wasn't crying, even though she was in a lot of pain. She stood straight, calm, and even strong in her weakness. "I stayed because I believed in our family and in him. But just because you believe in something doesn't mean you have to give up your dignity." When someone asked Mary what would happen next, she looked right into the camera and answered, "I don't know yet. But I know I deserve more than to be the shadow of someone else's happiness." After the program aired, insiders claim Kody was surprised by Mary's statements, but Robyn generally stayed quiet. In a short tape taken later, Kody just stated, "She's entitled to her feelings," and then walked away. Robyn, who was clearly upset, said, "I never wanted to take anyone's place. I just wanted love and a family too. If I hurt her, I'm sorry." People all across the internet showed their support for Mary. Hashtags like #JusticeForMary and Team Mary became popular overnight. Longtime fans of Sister Wives complimented her bravery and honesty. Many people hoped that Mary would finally be able to get away from the emotional pain and find her strength again. Mary walked back inside her house alone at the end of the scene. This time, though, she wasn't broken. She was taking back her life. "You can love someone and still leave to love yourself more," she stated. For the first time in years, Mary Brown was more than simply a character in someone else's story. She was writing her own. But the morning sun bathed Flagstaff in golden light as Janelle Brown sat quietly at her kitchen table, sipping herbal tea and staring at her business journal. The house was unusually still. The kids were grown and busy with their own lives, and her marriage with Kody felt more like a shadow than a partnership. But today wasn't about the past. It was about the future, her future. For years, Janelle had put her family's ambitions first, made compromises, changed her plans, and put her own wants aside. But now she was done waiting for approval. She had a dream, to start her own wellness and homesteading lifestyle brand, and she wanted to do it her way. She had chosen the name Desert Roots by Janelle. It would be a mix of gardening tips, tips for living sustainably, organic skincare products, and wellness coaching. It was everything she loved. But when she told Kody about the idea a few days earlier, he didn't seem very supportive. "Another company? Janelle, don't you think you're doing too much? Let's not build castles in the air. Let's focus on the family land." So today she made up her mind. She wouldn't ask anymore. She would construct. That week, she met with Christine, who had gotten her wings back after leaving Kody. They sat at Christine's kitchen table in Utah, ate a small lunch, and Janelle told Christine all about her ambitions. Christine's eyes lit up. "Janelle, this is great. I love the name. And who better than you to teach people how to be self-reliant? Christine's support was what Janelle needed to keep going. I'm not trying to be another influencer, Janelle stated with passion. This isn't just content. It's a lifestyle. I've raised kids, built gardens from scratch, budgeted every dollar, and made it through all of that emotionally. I want to show women that they can live richly without being rich. Janelle turned her garage into a content studio when she got back to Flagstaff. She bought ring lights and started recording videos on how to cultivate herbs in arid regions, how to make natural lip balms, and how to feel good about yourself and rebuild your life after a breakup. Her Instagram and TikTok profiles started to get more and more followers. But not everyone was happy. Robyn showed up out of the blue one afternoon. With her arms crossed, she questioned, "You're doing all of this without telling the family?" "It's my business, Robyn," Janelle replied, rising straight. "I'm tired of needing everyone's vote to follow my dreams." "You're shutting yourself off." "No, I'm finally putting money into myself. That's different." Weeks moved into months. Janelle released her first line of products, Desert Roots lip balms, which were produced from beeswax and herbs she grew herself. They sold out in the first 2 days. Then there was the podcast Rooted with Janelle, where she talked about being a sister wife, dealing with broken trust, money problems, and finding her voice in her 40s. Women from all over the country wrote to her to thank her for being real. "Janelle, I've been a quiet wife for 20 years. I got the strength to ask for what I want from your show." Finally, one night at a family gathering, Kody brought it up again. He said, "I hear your business is doing well," with a mix of surprise and doubt. "Maybe I didn't give you enough credit." Janelle smiled, serene and sure. "You didn't underestimate me, Kody. You just never tried to get to know me." Christine lifted her glass and said, to Janelle, who didn't wait for permission to follow her dreams. Mary nodded as she watched. "I think I should go back to my bed and breakfast too." Janelle recognized at that moment that this wasn't simply a company. It was about freedom. It was about women getting their voices back in a world that too often silenced them. Desert Roots by Janelle grew into more than just a brand. It became a movement. And what about Janelle? She finally stopped saying, "Can I?" and began to say, "Watch me." If you want to hear more from Mary, Christine, or Robyn, just let me know. But the Brown family had always been different. Kody Brown and his 4 wives, Mary, Janelle, Christine, and Robyn, ran a plural household, which meant that every day came with its own set of problems. The Brown home was always busy with activities like managing schedules and sharing duties. But one summer, something changed. A simple idea became a Brown family life hack that changed their lives forever. A tragedy was the beginning of it all. On a Thursday morning, the family's shared kitchen in Robyn's house was a mess. Christine was making breakfast for her kids. Janelle was looking for her gluten-free oats. Mary was upset that her almond milk had gone missing again, and Robyn's toddler was screaming for her sippy cup. Kody walked in, saw the chaos, and quietly left. That day, the family convened an emergency meeting in the backyard. The topic was how to make the house more efficient. Mary was the first to speak. "We can't keep living like this. One fridge for meal plans and way too many spoons that are missing." Christine agreed. "And don't even get me started on laundry. I found Truly socks in Solomon's drawer again." Janelle, the sensible one, had an idea. "What if we made zones? Each wife could have her own part of the house to do her daily tasks, but we could all use a shared online board to keep track of everything." Robyn, who is tech-savvy and often on Pinterest, lit up. "Why don't we make a Brown family life hub? One system, one app, one plan. We split up the work, keep track of who's doing what, and switch up family meals every week. No more chaos." Kody blinked. "What?" "We're getting organized." The Big Brown Family Life Hack initiative began. The wives changed the way the family worked together in a week. The Life Hub app. Robyn's cousin made them a simple app where they could enter their schedules, grocery lists, times to pick up the kids, and rotating chore charts. For example, Christine did the chores on Tuesday, and Mary did them on Monday. Janelle took care of the money, while Robyn took care of the doctor's appointments. Color codes. Each family member got a color. Gabriel was green, Aurora was purple, and Kody was orange. Each chore, lunchbox, and laundry basket was color-coded to match. Shared zones. Instead of everyone crowding into Robyn's kitchen, the garage was turned into a second mini-kitchen. Christine's living room became the family movie zone, Janelle's yard became the gardening corner, and Mary turned her spare room into the Zen room, a quiet space with no kids and no Kody. Family council nights. Every Sunday, the whole family got together for 30 minutes to speak about what worked and what didn't. They even gave out a Life Hack of the Week award to the person who identified the smartest way to solve a daily problem. The house ran more smoothly, and the relationships got better. Christine felt less stressed. Mary found time to reconnect with herself. Janelle loved seeing her ideas make a difference, and Robyn finally didn't feel like she had to do everything. He began to help with dinner prep and set up dad days, where he would take each group of kids on a small outing, just him and them. He said it was part of the system, but everyone knew he was really enjoying the new piece. Months later, the producers of TLC heard about the Life Hub idea and suggested a spin-off show called Sister Wives, Life Hacked. The Browns consented. People all across the country soon started watching the Browns show how to organize multiple family life. Fans sent in their own ideas, and a Facebook page was formed. People from Utah to Texas began to try out the Brown method. The Browns knew that plural marriage may be hard, but it could also be good since it brought together more adults who brought greater strength, creativity, and solutions. All it required was a shared schedule, a variety of bins with different colors, and the desire to work together. They weren't perfect, but they were finally making better choices. Let me know if you want a follow-up narrative where one of the spouses defies the rules of the Life Hub and causes trouble, or if a TV producer tries to utilize them to get greater ratings. But the weather in Flagstaff was bad that night, and the clouds outside looked like the chaos in Kody Brown's heart. He sat at the kitchen table in his once busy family home, which was now quieter than ever, with papers spread out in front of him. These included legal notices, bank statements, and a thick envelope labeled Spousal Support Review. There was a startling turn in Season 19, Episode 29 of Sister Wives. Kody, who was now living only with Robyn, felt more and more trapped. Christine had moved on a long time ago and was now engaged to David. Janelle was fiercely independent and focused on building her financial future. Mary, who had always been a quiet fighter, had finally opened her own bed and breakfast and was doing well in Utah. But now, Kody felt like all of them were coming back, not for love or closure, but in his eyes, for his money. "I'm not an ATM," Kody snarled into the camera during his confession. "I supported this family for 30 years. Now, everyone is talking about what they deserve. I gave everything, and now they want more." During the filming scenario, Robyn sat next to him without saying a word. Her face showed a mix of sympathy and veiled worry. Kody had agreed to meet with all three of his ex-wives in person a week before. They met at a resort where the family used to go on vacation. Christine had stepped in with confidence, wearing a bright red coat. Her fiancé was waiting outside. Mary came in quietly but firmly, holding papers and with a new lawyer by her side. Janelle, who was always a realist, brought spreadsheets that showed Kody's years of unpaid bills to her for shared investments and promises. Janelle told him straight up, "This isn't about revenge. It's about fairness. You said we'd be equals, and that includes when we break up." He said, "Fairness? You all left the family, and now you want my money? You have businesses, books, and social media income. Why do you always come after me?" "Kody, this isn't about you being a victim. You chose Robyn. You left us emotionally long before we left. Now you have to deal with the consequences." Back at home, Kody's fear grows. Kody was pacing in his living room at the end of the episode while Robyn tried to calm him down. His voice broke with anger. "They want to take all my money, Robyn. I can't even look at them anymore. I should have made contracts for everything." "Maybe it's time to stop thinking of them as enemies, Kody," Robyn, the mediator, said. "Maybe it's time to own your part in all of this." Kody didn't hear what she said, though. He was staring out the window, plagued by what he thought was betrayal. Final note from the producer. On camera, Kody's worries about money and mounting anger make it seem like plural marriage is falling apart. With each ex-wife planning her own future and Kody feeling more alone, the cracks in the Brown family have never been more clear. Hello, lovely viewers. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sabrina. I hope your day is going well. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel.